Good evening, everyone, and a welcome back to season 10 of IRC. We are gathered here for the Tier 1 round 4 of China. And in the comms box with us, streaming is Alex, it's Swagger here, and Deepak, who will be taking over the track guide right now.
Yep, so we are racing in China today. It's a pretty long circuit. Got 16 corners, 2 DRS zones, and extremely tricky traction zones. Turn 13 is going to be extremely crucial to get that all important lap time. And speaking of that, let's have a look at the hot lap.
Alright then, let's go for a lap on board Tier 1 driver Ashray around the Shanghai International Circuit. DRS open across the line as we head towards an interesting turn 1, which slowly curves inwards and tightens as the corner goes by. Put a lot of emphasis on engine braking here rather than braking itself. Turn 2 and turn 3 are important traction zones. Short shift to get the best exit towards the first major overtaking zone going into turns 5 and 6. Hard on the brakes halfway into the curb, turn in, short shift on exit, and aim for a good exit here as well. Then we come through turn 7, a long sweeping left-hander. You could try to take the curb on the inside, but it could spit you out violently. Coming through turn 8, and turn 9s and 10 is a double left-hander. A difficult corner to get right and important to get the line right through here to avoid bottoming out on the curbs. Turn 11 is a good overtaking zone as we head into sector 3. Then we come through another crucial traction zone. Turns 12 and 13 are very important to the whole lap and sets you up perfectly for the long back straight, one of the longest on the F1 calendar. As we head down the back straight, DRS open, you're reaching speeds of 330 kilometers an hour as you're coming into the braking zone of turn 14. Brake at the end of the curb on the left. Try to get a nice apex through here, run wide on exit a little bit to get the best possible traction, open up the corner. Turn 16, aim to clip the curb a little bit on the inside, don't run too wide on the outside, and that is a lap of China.
That was a pretty good representative hot lap set by Ashray, a 32.9, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be beaten to smithereens by today's Tier 1 lap times. We'll be seeing a lot more faster times than that. That's for sure. But yeah, there's quite an important announcement. I mean, yes, we do have this as round 4, but the round 3 did not happen because of lobby issues, which has been postponed to a later date. And rounds 1 and 2 have been decided to be redone because we had a driver in our lobby who was using an unfair advantage by exploiting the game mechanics. And well, let's just say, I mean, something like that. So yeah, he was banned from the server, and since there was quite an influence on the race, it felt the right decision to redo the races. So yeah, this is virtually a fresh start. It's a clean slate, and all these drivers are definitely going to be starting fresh from all of this because it's a second chance for drivers who had a very bad first 2 races. And yeah, generally, like I said, it's gonna be a fresh start. It's gonna be virtually round 1, even though it's round 4.
Okay, so we have the lobby all set as well. We'll be going quickly for the short qualifying and then to the race. And the drivers are already out. The first few drivers, which is both the Alpines, are out on hot laps, or actually, out lap right now. And interestingly, Ashray going out on the mediums. So different strategies going on here, but of course, everyone will be putting their fastest laps on those softs. So yeah, it's like all the driver standings and everything will be reset as Deepak was talking about earlier. So this is like a fresh start, and for everyone out there who are taking part in the T1 racing as well, it's going to be pretty interesting for them to get back more points. And it's because it's a clean slate, anyone could be on top of the leaderboard after this race.
Yep, that's for sure. And this is also going to be a very interesting track because it's as you can see, it's a very abrasive circuit. Tires will literally get killed off quite easy, and it's going to take a lot of tire management and smart racing to get your race sorted properly here.
Indeed, and the last 2 tiers of racing as well, we didn't really see that many safety cars. So in T1, it's again, China is a very, very wide track. So even if you spin out, there's a chance that you can recover the car and not just, pin it in the wall. So it's going to be interesting to see how much, these guys are going to work on strategy, because an undercut or even an overcut sometimes over here works really well.
Yep, that is absolutely true. Like you said, undercut and overcuts are very viable strategy. I would say more like undercut, because the tire wear is absolutely massive. So the longer you stay out, the tires are going to be much more short, and it's going to lose you a lot of time. And we see Baba just pulling out his drift skills there in third too. I mean, that definitely looks cool, but not the fastest way to go around though.
Indeed, and his teammate right behind him is on medium. So yeah, we did see a pretty decent lap times even set by the T2 boys. So let's see what these guys can set with in T1. So of course they don't really have the advantage of let's say full traction or a few assists. So yeah, mostly all of them are running almost 0 assists, or maybe I think medium traction is allowed. So I guess they're just not that. But yeah, overall we could see a lot of spins coming out of the curbs, because few curbs over here, even if you touch them very slightly, there's a huge chance that you're going to spin out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The curves are going to be absolutely killer, and it's going to be how you manage the traction, because the turn we just saw, turn 13, you got to be on the edge of the traction, like just enough to not go over the limit, but you got to be on the limit to get the best exit, because after that you got the super long straight, which is where you're going to get a lot of lap time. This is going to be very crucial. So I'm pretty sure we could see a lot of mistakes in turn 13. And we are seeing some lap times rolling in. ST has put in the fastest lap, 32.7, which is already in the tier 2 range. And Aradi has beaten that right now. He's gone to a 32.5. So yeah, lap times are coming in now.
We did see that while we were on board Baba, he chose to just, pit and disregard that lap that he was trying to set. So yeah, all of these guys putting in some pretty decent banker laps. Of course, with the time, we will have faster laps on track as well. The track will ramp up a little bit, and these guys will come completely get used to their cars as well. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. You see, 2, 3, and 4 are very close to each other, and add that 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's 132-7. So it's extremely tight at the top.
And while talking about being extremely tight, Free the Pro just taking 10s, going 2 10s faster than Aradhya right there, who had the provisional pole as of now. And a lot of these guys just putting in some very decent lap times. And Helium out here in his Mercedes trying to take that pole from him, because in Mexico we did see that few of these guys were able to take pole.
Yep, I mean, let's not talk about Mexico, because that was a really, really bad round. For everyone involved, it was a really bad occurrence. We really hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, Helium is definitely a very strong contender for pole. He's definitely one of the quickest guys in this tier. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how he's going to get the lap time. We see an Alpine up ahead. I hope it doesn't impede his progress that much. And yes, he's out of the way. So yeah, let's see what kind of time Helium is able to put up. We're not seeing the telemetry sectors popping up, which is quite interesting, but we'll see what kind of lap time he's up to. Pretty sure it'll be somewhere on the top.
Indeed, he only 16 drivers tonight. So yeah, it's a top 15 get points. So if you're not the last person to cross the finish line, you are getting at least a 1 point. So in a way, it just helps the drivers to not lose hope, because even if you're let's say 12th or 11th, in real life you only get points for the top 10, whereas now you get a chance even with top 15. So yeah, a lot of these drivers is moving out of the way for their teammates. And SSJ 149, of course, that's not the fastest lap that he has set till now. So yeah, coming up to the line now, let's see where he can put that Ferrari of his, and can he be in the top 5 over here? And he does. That's a very decent lap by SSJ to put himself on P4.
Yep, SSJ is done a 32.5, and Helium in his previous flyer did a 32.4. So yeah, it is already starting to come down, and the times are getting stacked up. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna go down as we go into the session. It's 10 minutes and 40 seconds left. So we're still gonna see a lot of track evolution, track ramping up, and people getting their eyes in and getting into the rhythm. And we're gonna see a lot more good laps coming up. That's for sure.
Indeed, and of course with a very tricky turn 1 as well. It's going to be super hard for these guys to keep it clean. But yeah, let's just hope that there's not much carnage going into turn 1. And these guys know that they'll have to leave each other space and whatnot, but there'll be people trying to use that turn 1 to maybe, let's say, try and go faster. So yeah, it's going to be a very tricky turn 1, but a very interesting turn 1 at the same time.
Yeah, this track tournament is quite unique because it just keeps going and going and going, and it suddenly tightens into technically what we call as turn 2. I mean, it's a very weird complex of corners, and it's very tough in the opening corners as well when you got cars jostling for space all around, and it's very easy for things to go wrong. And I mean, thankfully today I think in both of the tiers we didn't have a lot of incidents. I mean, there were a few incidents, but I don't think there was quite a lot like big pile up incidents. So let's hope the Tier-1 boys can do much better than that. I'm pretty sure they will definitely try to do better than that.
Indeed, we haven't really seen that many incidents as you were saying. So yeah, let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that the T1 boys keep it clean and give us a fun show to watch tonight. And yeah, simply setting a better lap than what he said earlier, and it's only a 133.2, and that's him in P11 right now. So the top three is pre Helium and Aradhya Gupta, obviously 1-1 lap each. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch these guys just put in faster and faster lap times.
Yeah, I think Simply did that lap on a used set of tires because you can see it's 3 laps. So he's definitely probably had some issues in his first run and he didn't want to waste another set. So hopefully he just went on another run in the same set of tires, which is not really good for your lap times, but really good for you to get the hang of the track and prepare yourself for that one final run, which is going to be absolutely crucial.
Indeed, so we have the 17th driver joining the lobby as well, Shawshank, slightly bit late, but of course it's the short quali, so you can take your car and get out there for quali. So let's see where he can put that horse on the leaderboard, because it was only Aradhya in that solo horse, and now his teammate has joined him. So maybe both of them can work together and try and do something in the race, because of course we have a pretty long race up ahead in front of us, and it's just quali. We still have around 7 minutes left in this session, so a lot of action still to come.
Yeah, we see drivers are out on their second run, I think. So yeah, we're gonna see some lap times coming in. So we're on board Logesh right now, who is going through turn 13. Can you go on board him? Yep, he's taking the inside line, but he's had to slightly back on the throttle there, so I don't think there'll be a very great exit. But yeah, he's keeping going. Hopefully he's got something. But as far the telemetry is concerned, I think it's a bit he seems to have set some average sectors, but let's see what he can do in this third sector coming up. Gets his corner right, has a slight bit of an oversteer on the exit, but it's all well and good. And he goes, he has aborted the lap. Well, that was pretty much understandable.
It is, and we had a few practice sessions as well, and I did find a few of the drivers just bidding it on the entry of the pits. So the bid entry is actually pretty tricky, and let's say if you have a lockup, you can lose your wing just going straight onto the wall, like we've seen IRL drivers do as well. So a pretty tricky entry into the pits, and we are on board Pre the Pro right now, who's on provisional pole. Let's see if he can improve on a 132.5, and he does. He has dipped into the 131s over here.
Wow, he is just raising the bar again and again and again. So yeah, it's gonna be a very tough fight in the pole position, that's for sure. And I don't think it's a 131. I think it's well, I think the Discord side it's a bit on the rough side, so it's a bit apologies for the inconvenience. I think it's a 32.1. Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't really clear, and on screen it did look like he's gone below 132s. But yeah, indeed, with the color popping up there, it is a 132.1. So sorry on that. But yeah, we see Shawshank on the track as well. He's on outlap, only one lap for him right now. We see a Helium trying to put a faster lap as well, and Aradhya improves his lap. Only second fastest though, 132.2. Of course, he's improved from what he had his banker lap, So yeah, the Alpine getting out of the way yet again, and Helium goes into the pits.
Must have had some mistakes with the lap that he's not happy with it, because second sector was yellow, so must have had some mistakes somewhere. So he's just rolling back into the pits so he can prepare for the third run, which is going to be absolutely important for him. And we're on board Shawshank right now, and he's going through this corner. It's a very tricky corner, this one. You need a slight lift off at times, but it's always so easy to lose a traction through here, and you need to get absolutely critical for the line to be right. And he already has a little bit of a movement there. It's already compromised his lap a little bit, but he still needs to proceed because he needs at least some valid time to be on the board to not start from the last of the grid.
And again, it's his first lap of the day as well, so maybe just a little bit of rust out there. So yeah, he'll probably get back to race pace soon and can put a decent quali lap in, because he does have the time to go back into the pits and come out on a faster set of tires. And while I'm talking about that, we just saw Aradhya giving Shawshank a beautiful slipstream down the back straight, and let's see if that has helped the Haas out even a little bit, because of course he
no!
While I'm talking about that, he has a spin.
That was really bad. But when I saw him dipping two wheels on the outside curve, I knew it was coming, because it's a very tough line to go through. You need to have the car perfectly in the middle, and if it slightly touches the curve, it just kicks you out, and that's what exactly happened. But until then, it was good team play from both of the Haas cars, good coordination, but unfortunately, it's all for nothing.
Indeed, and we just see all of the boys just going back into the pits, getting ready for that final run to try and put a fast lap out there and maybe steal pole position from Pre the Pro, who is absolutely flying right now. And we see we are on board SSJ right now. He was on a different strategy compared to the other guys. He did come out on track a little bit late, and I think this is his second run. So yeah, interesting strategy over here by the Ferrari, but Ferrari doing pretty damn good right now with a 1 and 5 provisionally.
Yeah, Ferrari as a team, it's quite a interesting matchup. SSA is quite rapid in certain circuits, so he could literally blitz the entire field on his own. And you got Pre the Pro as well, who's been proving his pace over and over again. And yeah, it looks to be a very solid combo. I just hope they don't do what real life Ferrari is doing and do something. But yeah, I really don't want to put the commentators first on them. But yeah, I really hope that they do good.
Indeed. We haven't really seen, much of Forza Ferrari of late. So let's just hope that at least in our league, the Ferrari boys do decently well. But yeah, SSJ coming out to the last corner now, trying, obviously he has to go for a lap. So let's see what kind of lap he can set, because of course the benchmark right now is a 132.1, and that's his teammate. So he has to, just get his head down, try and put a decent clean lap as well, and let's see where he puts his Ferrari.
Yep, tackles turn one, pretty good turn to sticks to the inside and now drifts wide, and you need to use the rear a lot to rotate, and it's pretty tough to get that right, and he kind of gets that all okay over there, and he's actually done a good sector. It's a PB sector, so yeah, it's looking good for him. It's really looking good. I just hope the car up ahead doesn't impede him, because it's very tough, and he slightly turns in late. That optimizes lap for sure, because you need a lot early turn in there, and the car up ahead doesn't seem to be moving out of the way, which is definitely not going to be make him very happy. He's going to have some colorful words, that's for sure. So, yep, he's rolled out of the lap.
Yep. That's unfortunate for him, but yeah, that lap did get impeded quite a bit by, I think that is Banat in front of him. So I think Banat thought that he's on an outlap as well, because of course a lot of people just coming out of the pits now for the final run. And unfortunately, SSJ now has to slow down, get his ERS back up, and try and go for a quick lap, towards the end of the quali. And while talking about SSJ, we are on board his teammate Pre the Pro, the pole sitter, not the provisional pole sitter as of now, and he's gone out on another set of new soft tires, and let's see if he can, better his lap time compared to what he has already put in.
Peter Pro is running a much tighter line through turn 1. He was keeping as close as he could to the right side. Some drivers will prefer to take the wider line and cut back into T2, but he stuck into the line and he's already hit the purple sector 1. So yeah, he's prepared to raise the bar even more.
He sure is, and he's pushing that Ferrari to its limits as well. So taking the turns pretty well, staying away from the curbs and not spinning out. So it is perfect. And as you said, he's already got a purple sector 1. So improving on the time that he's already set, this could be huge for him because Aradhya and Helium, of course, are right behind him. Like only a 10 separating Aradhya and around 3 tenths separating him and Pre. Helium and Pre. So this is going to be a very crucial lap. Even second sector, only a green. So he is still improving. So this is going to be a very, very quick lap by him.
Yep, and as we are coming down to turn 14, and he has to hook this up right, and he hits the apex, all well and good, gets the exit sorted, just one corner away, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be his fastest lap for sure.
Yeah, coming up to the line now. Let's see what kind of time he sets it, and he is the quickest guy on track right now. Aradhya right behind him was not able to improve his lap. So Helium right now, the only driver out there who can snag pole position out of Pre's hand.
And he's got the purple middle sector as well, a PB first and the purple middle, so it's all coming down to the third sector.
Indeed, and Helium setting pretty, as I was saying, pretty decent sectors right there. And ST putting his Williams in P3. So can Helium take away pole, or can he even put himself in the first row? And the answer is he can. He goes second fastest, faster than Aradhya. And what decent lap by SD as well. And of course, because it's a clean state now, SD has a very good chance of getting his, or defending his World Championship title.
Yep, and Akash just took a very interesting entry into the pit lane. Pretty sure if you do that in the race, you're going to get a track cut warning. That is also something that you got to be very careful about in this track, because the pit entry is also one of the places where you could lose your race, you could get some warnings, or you could burst, hit the wall on the inside or on the outside and break your wing. That will put a mega dent in your race. But yeah, I think the quali is over and the Pro is in pole position, and yeah, I think he actually held the pole convincingly, because he's like 2 tenths up, and that is quite convincing margin, to be honest, in this tier.
Indeed, a 32.0 is a very, very good lap. Of course, these guys are the fastest drivers from IRC. So yeah, just to see that these guys are able to, put some solid laps in, and the gap being very, very close between all of these guys, just like a tenth or two here and there. So it's going to be a very interesting race. And of course, down in turn 1, let's just see if anyone's brave enough to dive down the inside, or maybe even make a move around the outside, because it is very much possible to do that on this track.
Yep, you are absolutely right. It's gonna be very critical. Like I said, turn 1 and 2, it's a very tight sequence of corners, and drivers need to be absolutely careful to make sure that things are going well, because you might see cars going 3 wide, just trying to squeeze a gap that might not be there, try to force open a gap and things like that. So yeah, it's all gonna be on the drivers to get their start and their spatial awareness properly done.
Indeed, and of course, these guys have to, be careful about, just taking care of their cars as well. You can't really afford to lose your front wings, especially, in the first lap. It's a long race ahead of us, so any bits of damage is going to hurt your lap times quite a lot, especially in China with crazy amount of tire wear as well. So it's going to be a race of strategies as well as pace, and for sure it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and like you're saying, some other tracks you could maybe make it out with wing damage, but China gonna be very tough with wing damage, because there are certain corners which require like a decent amount of front aero, and without that you're gonna be losing a lot of time through the corners. So yeah, wing damage is not certainly ideal to be carried on. It's better to be repaired as soon as you could. So yeah, it's all the more points to keep it clean on the race start.
Indeed, we are pretty close to, going for the 5 red lights. And yeah, we'll just have to see who can keep their car, away from all the carnage, which might happen in turn one, or who can keep it clean and yeah, make positions out of this race. Because again, as I was talking about earlier, it's a pretty long race, and because it's a pretty, tire eating track as well, it's going to be very crucial for them to pay a little bit of attention to their tire wear and try and save few of those tires, a bit of tires to go till the end and put in some pretty decent laps.
So, what would your preferred strategy be here? So, of course, I mean, in the early games, I think it was a two-stop, but in this game, it's more or less a one-stop strategy. It's either a hard medium or a medium hard. So, which one would you prefer?
So, well, I was actually checking out the hard medium strategy, and personally for me, it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, because I actually thought that there might be a few collisions in turn one. So I just started with the mediums, which actually helped pretty well. But towards the end, the hards are actually pretty decent. So mediums, literally the track eats the mediums up. The car for some reason does not like the mediums, but the hard tires, somehow they are pretty durable, and because that's the main reason why these guys can go till the end and make a one-stopper work.
Yep, that's a good take on the strategy. Although I would personally prefer a hard medium. I mean, I know very well that the safety car chances have been reduced this week because I do remember that the China saw having quite a lot of safety cars in the previous seasons of tier racing, but for whatever reason this weekend we didn't really have a lot of safety cars. So cars are spinning out, and like you said, it's a wide track, and walls are a bit further away. So you have space to correct your car and even have a spin and just join back. So I think that has been really saving the drivers with the safety car. So uh, yeah, let's see what's gonna happen in this race. I really hope that the streak continues, no safety car streak, but let's see. And you see, the
It's-
Mercedes is ghosted. I think Helium might have left the lobby. I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, it's lights out and away you go. Pre the Pro has got a good launch as expected because Helium's car is on AI. And yeah, Pre the Pro is taking the lead. And this car slightly jostling for position there. Ferrari's on the inside of the Aston Martin. He's still hanging it around. And yeah, I think he's got the position sorted now. So I think Helium's ghost car might be causing some issues here and there because it will be tough for the drivers to pick their markers. But so far, it seems all good. The drivers seem to have made way. Oh, never mind. I think two cars have stuck behind. I think that's the Alpines. Ashray and Baba have stuck behind, and see Aston Martin going out wide. This is a really bad start for the Alpines.
yeah, definitely, because both of them are, down the order now, just 16th and 17th, literally starting last. And yeah, Helium having some connection issues, and he's dropped down already to P5. So not the best starts for him. But Pre has a pretty decent lead right now. But Aradhya is on the hard tires. So towards the end of this race, we could see him coming back for that P1 and challenging him with mediums compared to Pre the Pro's hard tires. So that's going to be interesting to see what kind of strategies you guys are going through, because SD, Aradhya, and a couple of the other drivers down the order have opted for hards, whereas Pre, who started first, and both the Ferraris actually are on a medium strategy. So yeah, a lot of racing going on behind. We have 3 wide going into the last penultimate turn, and yeah, Extreme just losing 2 positions right there. Kapil and Shashank, both of them overtaking Extreme, and his car is ghosted as well. So the Mercedes boys having a few issues with their internet.
Yeah, this is not looking good for the Mercedes boys, and Alpine boys are also running in a formation right now. They're running close to each other, and you see Banata's box. So I think he was involved in some kind of a lap one melee, I think, because we did see 2 spun cars, so there could have been some contact in the back. But I think the field has had a relatively clean getaway. Can we look at the position gain, please?
And while we're just looking at it, I'm pretty sure Banat didn't really have a wing change. So that is very interesting strategy from his side.
I think I can guess what would have happened because we need to set a pit strategy before you enter. You need to set to repair wings as guests before you enter. So probably if you leave in the auto, sometimes the game might recognize that it's not a serious damage. You can just continue. So I think that might happen. Still speculations here. No solid idea what happened, but I really don't think pitting on lap one just for tires doesn't really make sense.
And SD is losing a lot of positions and he has spun out. That's the reason he has lost so many positions now. So he was in P4 for a very decent amount of time and he has lost 12 positions already and is down to P16 now. So not a very good race for Ashray, SD as well as Banat.
Yep, we've got our first victim for the turn 13. And I'm pretty sure it won't be the last because that corner it's extremely treacherous when it comes to traction. And I see Shawshank is boxing, so yeah, clearly a lot of people are involved in that incident. I feel like.
Yep, and let's just hope that he has, made sure that the pit crew change his wings because Banat right now, if he has damage, that is, he's going to be in a lot of pain. But yeah, talking about the guys in front. SSJ gaining 4 positions of the start, so pretty decent by him. And most of the rest of the guys have basically, gained a few positions because of the other guys just spinning out. So yeah, pretty sad times for both the Alpines and SD as well, just spinning out on turn 13. But again, it's a 28 lap race. We're only on lap 3. A lot can happen. So these guys need to be, completely focused and try to get back the positions that they've lost already.
Yeah, absolutely true. And I think we might have Helium back in the lobby, so I don't think his car is ghosted. But I think he would have preferred to be here because he pretty sure lost a lot of positions because of the AI being in the control of the car. And turn on was literally no fight for Preetha Pro. He could literally take the line that he wanted to. Which sucks for Helium because it's a bit of an easy move. But we see SSA is making a move on Aradhya and he stuck it in. He sends it on the inside and he's got the move done. Will Aradhya be able to fight on the outside? I don't think so. He settles for this for now, which is a very wise move. You don't want to go side by side through this corner. It's very tough. So yeah, a very good move there.
Indeed, SSJ keeping it clean, and of course he's on the mediums compared to Aradhya who's on hards. So with the help of a bit of DRS, he has made the move stick. But again, Aradhya and Helium are right there. Helium on medium tires as well. So Aradhya, the only person in the top 5 to, or actually top 3 to start on the hards, and it's not going too bad for him because he's only 2.5 seconds behind P1 right now. And of course, he'll be on a faster tire towards the end on lesser fuel, so he could be a driver to watch out by the end of this race.
Yeah, certainly. Now he's stuck in the DRS range of SSC and the medium tires are going to be pulling up to the front of the grid and Aradhya will be piggybacking through the DRS and he'll just get pulled along for sure. So he's in a very good position right now. He just needs to punch in those laps and wait for the mediums around him tie out. And you see Lokesh making a little mistake there out of the traction and that might invite Eitzel to have a look down the inside, but he just hangs back for now. But he's going to have a very compromised run for sure.
Yeah, overall, if you just look at the drivers right now, both the Ferraris having a 1-2, which is fantastic for them, of course. And yeah, even the Haas not doing too bad, of course, for Aradhya, whereas Shashank having a pretty weird race as of now. And Banat has
yellow flag. Wonder what happened. I think he might have lost traction through that corner because you need to rotate your rears to turn around, and probably he overcooked it or something is what I feel like.
Yeah, Shashank is the closest to that incident. And of course, if you touch any of these curbs going on a fast left-hander, you could be in a big trouble. And that's Banat's car just spun around and just on the side of the track. So he's definitely lost the car and pinned it into the wall.
And surprisingly, no safety car. So the car was just taken out. So no VSC, no safety car, and the action goes on.
Yep, the stewards being extremely efficient, so not a lot of drivers on that part of the track. So they have managed to clear it, and no VSCs or safety cars at the moment. And yeah, we can see that Helium has closed up the gap to Aradhya, but Aradhya is doing a very good job of staying right behind SSJ and getting DRS and just sticking with him.
Yeah, this is very smart racing from these guys. They know for a fact that they don't need to fight and lose time while Priya Pro just runs away in the front. So they are getting pulled together as a team for now, at least. But I'm pretty sure it will all be lasting only for a short period of time. Once Priya Pro goes beyond the time, it will gonna be every man for himself. That's for sure.
Yeah, right now at least both the Ferraris are having a 1-2, which is kind of like a dream to have in real life. But yeah, these guys doing a pretty decent job. The top 4 are slowly but surely getting away from the rest of the pack. 4.5 seconds from Helium to Akash right now. So yeah, those 4 are definitely the drivers to keep an eye out for, because it's probably going to be one of them who is going to come and finish in the top 3 at least. So yeah, overall interesting strategies as well, because few of them have already pit, but they'll have to pit soon again, because Shawshank, I think, had he was the same victim of EA, and he had to pit yet again to get his tires and wings changed. So he has lost out a lot of time.
Yep, and behind we did see Big Cheese, aka 8 Cylinders, has moved up on low gauge, so he's finally got the move done, and he's on the back of Black Sheep. So yeah, that's a potential move incoming, for sure. So yeah, he seems to be doing good. Even in the pre-race, he was saying that he had a good lap time in the time trials going on, but then again, time trial, and this is quite a different league. So I hope he has a good race this weekend, because he has been having a torrid few races. But like I said, it's a clean slate for everyone, so I just hope he uses this well.
Indeed, of course, and we'll have the 3 races, towards the end of, our season as well. So yeah, a longer season for these boys. But again, on screen right now, Aids are trying to go for a move on Black Sheep, but yeah, just stays behind him for now. Is super low on ERS. Logesh definitely sees this, and let's see if he can, maybe try and capitalize. And we see Extreme spinning out, coming out of the penultimate corner right there, and that is a very weird place to spin out, and super unfortunate for the Mercedes right there.
Yeah, but luckily I don't think he clipped the wall based on whatever the telemetry output was. He didn't have any damage, and we see a move happening between Simply and Couple. These two have no love lost. They have been scrapping it out since round 1. So yeah, Couple is pulling a move on the outside, and it's all been fair this time around.
See Baba going for a move on Extreme as well, who's just recovering from a spin. So the tire's not really in the right tire temperatures right now. Both of them are actually, Baba is on hards and Extreme is on mediums, but those mediums are pretty cooked right now because of the spin. So a pretty decent move by Baba right there to get P14.
Yep, he just hung it around on the inside in turn 1, and like I said, Extreme had very cooked tires after that spin, and it's gonna take a while for the tires to cool down. Until then, he's gonna be a bit of a sitting duck. But once it is cooled down, he will have the advantage momentarily, because it still is a good tire life window for the mediums.
Yep, that's true. And yeah, these guys are just slowly settling into the race. Few spins here and there, but yeah, only Banat has DNF still now. Not a lot of people. And while I'm talking about that, Aidsel yet again just faking yet another move and letting Black Sheep know that he's right there, right behind him, and there's a potential overtake on Black Sheep coming real soon.
Can you have a look at Black Sheep's ERS, please? Yep, he's got plenty. He could stay up in front. I think HL is dumping too much ERS. He will have to start looking to conserving ERS a little, because he's within ERS range. He's got the pace, so he just needs to try and get some battery charged up a little bit more before he could push. But right now, as it is, he seems to be going all out and trying to get the track position as soon as he could.
Yeah, and while talking about that, Helium has made a move on Aradhya and moved himself up to P3 right now. So yeah, both the Ferraris just up in front, almost a second gap between SSJ and Helium, who is having a few moments here and there. So yeah, super low on ERS, desperately trying to get into that DRS range. And Ninja Zero down the order has lost a few positions, and probably yet another
he
spin
lost
for
out.
him.
I think he lost traction in that corner because his car was stuck and Adrian just went past. So probably another traction issue kicking in, I feel like.
Indeed, it could be. But yeah, these guys, few of them are having a very good races. The guys in front, Breeze almost 2 seconds in front of his teammate. But SSJ putting in a valiant effort to just stick with his teammate, and Eitzel yet again right behind Black Sheep, and yet again Black Sheep is able to fend off Eitzel, who is super low on ERS.
Axel is literally wringing everything out of the battery, is squeezing everything out. And we see STN simply going side by side through here, through the final corner, and simply had to back out of there, which is again a very wise move considering the notoriety of this corner to take people out if you go side by side. So, yep. I think it was ST making a move on simply, or was it the other way around? I'm not 100% sure. Apologies for that.
It was SD on simply because SD did lose quite a lot of positions, and he's trying to get back all the positions that he had lost in lap 2 or 3.
Yep. So looks like ST seems to be putting up a charge right now. I'm not sure how much he could recover, but he's definitely going to be praying for some luck going his way with the guys because he definitely got the pace to do it, but he still needs a lot of things to click for him.
Yep, and talking about pushing to the limit, he's still completely almost out of ERS, whereas his teammate way better on ERS management right now. And yeah, it's still, the only thing is it's very hard to get back ERS on this track. The region is pretty slow compared to the other tracks, so it still might have an issue towards the second stint and second phase of this race as well. What do you think about that, Deepak?
Yeah, that is true, but I think he could recover enough during the pit stops. I mean, just enough, not a lot. So I think he's banking on that. And also another factor is that Logesh is further behind. I don't think he's within DRS range for him. So he's not having any threats from the back, which is why he might be feeling a bit confident to try and push. But yeah, if I was him, I would definitely start saving up on the battery a little bit.
Indeed, and on the track map on the right, we can see that there's this groups already split out, and it's a very spread out lobby as well. So we have the top 4 in one of the groups. Then of course we have Akash down to I think P8, P9, all of them in one group, and then we have from Couple down to I think simply in one group. So yeah, all of them pretty spread out. So yet again, I don't think we are going to see a safety car in China.
Which should be quite a record, to be honest, because this week we didn't have anything going on in terms of safety cars, and I really want to. Oh, we see a spun out car, a Mercedes. Is that Extreme? Was it Extreme or was it Helium? I think it was Helium. Yeah, it was Helium. That's sad because he was really pushing quite hard. We did see earlier he was having a few moments here and there, and I think he has lost out on some time. But yeah, this is not really looking good for him.
But this just shows that these guys have some crazy amount of speeds, because Akash, who was around who was right behind these guys, he's still
I see it. What happened? Internet issue. Okay. Yeah, fine. Let us know on live. All right. So yeah, bear with us. We had an internet issue with our streamer, so we are trying to get this sorted soon. So I think Alex will be getting into the lobby and we'll be seeing the action shortly.
It's just unfortunate that we had some issue, but yeah, overall a pretty decent race till now. A few of them just having spins here and there, which is kind of unfortunate for them. But yeah, the top three just keeping it clean, keeping it on track, not making any mistakes, and yeah, that's the reason they are up there right now. And Aradhya was doing a very good job on those hard tires. So, who do you think, Deepak, is going to win this race?
Preetha Pro is definitely still in the mix, even SSJ. But I think Arathya might have a bit of an advantage towards the end because remember, he'll be on the fastest tires, he'll be on the medium tires, and he'll be able to rip the hearts to shreds if he gets a chance for it. So, yeah, he's definitely in the mix for that.
I'm just happy to see two Ferraris, out there in front, getting a 1-2s. At least, that Ferrari fan heart of mine is a little happy when I see it over here and not in real life. It's just so sad to see what's going on with Ferrari in real life. Hopefully, they get back whatever they're doing wrong and sort it right. And hopefully, we can see a better result from them in real life, just like the guys in IRC are putting up a very good show for us tonight.
Yep. So we're still waiting on the streamer to get into the lobby, and I think we'll be in shortly. So yeah, in the meantime, audience, you do put on your predictions. Who do you think might be winning the race based on what you've seen so far? So yeah, put on your predictions, and we'll see at the end of the race.
So yeah, you guys can predict about who's going to get the podium top three, and you can even predict how many spins we'll have as well, because of course we've already had 3 or 4 drivers just spinning out. So yeah, you guys can let us know your predictions for how many more you are hoping to see, and yeah, who's going to get the top three as well. Okay, there we go. The Alex is getting back into the race, and hopefully not much has changed. Of course, with the migrating host issue, desync does happen sometimes, but thankfully it hasn't happened yet. And let's just quickly take a look at the leaderboard as well to see if people are pit and where they come out.
Yeah, I think Peterborough is definitely a box for sure. Oh wait, he hasn't. Has been spun around or something? Did he miss something? Because he's on the hard tires right now, and pretty sure he didn't box yet.
No, he has.
Oh, he
Of course
has.
he has. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
never
he
mind.
started
He
on
started on
mediums.
mediums. Yeah. My bad. Apologies. So yeah, he seems to be stuck in the middle of a pack. Cars ahead did not pit yet, so they don't have any obligation to move out of the way. So yeah, this traffic will be hampering him. I think SSJ is also boxed, so yeah, he's also boxed. So Arathya is on. Arathya is golden right now. He's going to be making up some time when these guys are going to be, making life tough for Pre right now.
Indeed, right now as we speak, Pri is only 2 tenths away from Couple, and he's trying to go for a move down the inside, but has to stay behind, and still going side by side with Couple, and this is losing him a lot of time because he was only around he was actually around 2 seconds in front of SSJ, whereas right now SSJ is right up his tail, and it's going to be hard for Pri to defend from Aradhya later on this race, and he goes for a move around the outside of Kapil, still going side by side, not giving up just yet, but Kapil keeping that Alfa Romeo in front of Pri.
Yeah, Couple's got nothing to lose, and he's not going to give this one up. He's not obligated to let them buy. They still are racing, so he's going to make life as much difficult as he could for Pre because he just loves racing. So he's going to make it as difficult as he could. That's for sure.
And this is hurting both the Ferraris quite a lot. So we are seeing another Ferrari masterclass, as people would say. So this is just yet another pit stop strategy that these guys have gone for, and yeah, it really hasn't helped them at all.
Yep. So they're going to be absolutely. They're going to be very much panicking on the inside because they need to clear this cars as soon as they could. And currently stuck behind couple is really not helping both of them. They are both stuck behind each other when they should be pushing to clear the gap ahead. Because all this is just ensuring that Aradhya is going to be closing down the gap and he's going to be overcutting these guys for sure.
Funny thing is, Kapil is using is not even teammates with Aradhya, but he's helping him quite a lot. So if Aradhya does win this race, he definitely needs to thank Kapil over here.
The couple is still hanging it around the inside. I thought for sure Pre would use his traction to go on, but he is still hanging on to it. And SD has decided to box, and so has Logesh. So Pre the Pro is now looking down the inside. He's sending it on to turn one. Both are going side by side. What will Couple do this time around? He hangs it on the outside, and I think SSJ is also going for it. Yep, he's seeing a gap, but SSJ is around the outside this time around on this corner. It's gonna be tough to get the traction, and yes, Couple has held down by the barest of margins, but yeah, this corner, I think it might be done for SSJ. He's on the outside line, but he will have a good traction, and he's already through. He has used his ERS to get past before the braking zone, which was a bit of a desperate move, but very necessary as well, because every single corner he's stuck behind Couple, it's losing time and losing his chances for a win as well. So yeah, finally the Ferraris have cleared the traffic.
Now the question is this enough for both the Ferraris to just put in consistent laps now? And we
Couple
see
just
Kapil.
losing it.
Yeah, Kapil just completely losing control of his car, and he's put everything on track to just keep these two Ferraris behind him, and it will definitely help Aradhya quite a lot because he is only, I think, 2 or 3 seconds behind Pri, and Kapil alone has, he's done a very good defending job for Aradhya, and now it's up to Pri and SSJ to try and get back that lost time. And Aradhya has come into the pit, so this is going to be a very crucial pit stop for Aradhya. Can he come out in front of both the Ferraris?
I think it's going to be very close. Both the Ferraris are coming up in formation, and he has been released from the pits, but I don't think that's enough. But then again, he's going to be on the faster tires. He's going to be right behind these guys. So, yep, the race is still not done yet. The race for win is still on.
Indeed, Akash right now just leading the race. So Akash was around 5 to 6 seconds behind these guys before we had a few issues with the stream. But yeah, Aradhya only 4 seconds behind Pri right now, and on the faster tires, lower fuel. So this is going to be super hard for Pri to try and just put a nail in the coffin for the win. And if SSJ does a masterclass of defense against his rival right now, who's Aradhya, he could help out Pri over here. But if they do try and just go for all-out attack where each man for himself, we could see a Haas overtaking both the Ferraris right now.
I mean, I know it's for a fact that the teammates and everything, but it's literally, like I said, it's a virtual fresh start. It's almost like virtually round one. So it's going to be bragging rights pretty sure for the team. So what do you think? Do you think there'll be team orders, or do you think these guys will be like, let's wait until lap 20 or 25 and then it's everyone for himself? What do you think they'll be doing?
If I was the second driver, and yes, of course, SSJ is super close to Pri right now, and they're just using DRS, saving up a little bit of ERS as well. But yeah, if it was me, I would have probably helped my teammate a little bit to try and get the win, because at least if one Ferrari and one teammate who wins the race, it's better than having both of them just 2 and 3 than obviously it's better to have a 1 and 3 rather than a 2 and 3.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. But let's see, because sometimes, I mean, racing drivers are known to be selfish, and you do see sometimes it just pops up when the win is involved, especially. So let's see how this all turns out. But as it stands, they are holding formation. They are getting pulled along. SSJ is getting pulled along for sure. And I see fight up ahead. Black Sheep is trying to get him on Akash Sonone, who just recently pitted. So he's going to be on those ice cold tires. And Black Sheep is looking all over the place, and he's compromised his line now. Eitzel has a look, and he goes around the outside. They're still not cleared yet. They're going side by side through this corner. It's a very tricky corner to execute. On the next line, it will be in the inside, and he just concedes it, which is a good move in hindsight, because the next corner, it's very tricky. The car just understeers outside. So it might have been contact between Black Sheep and Eitzel if he had stuck onto it. But yeah, for now, Eitzel just backs off to fight for another day. So yeah.
And of course, these guys are trying to get P5 right now, and yeah, all of them on the same tires. So this is going to be a proper fight till the end. We have seen Black Sheep versus Eitzel earlier as well, and Black Sheep has a lot of ERS just to dump, and he goes for a move, and I think he does take the position of Akash. So Akash needs to fire up those mediums super quick, and Aradhya setting the fastest lap of the race.
Yep, he's on a charge. He's already 1.4 behind SSJ, so the gap is going down and down and down.
Indeed, and Logesh getting a 3-second penalty for probably track limits, and that's not going to help his race at all. He's already in 8th, only 1.6 seconds in front of SD, and SD is also on a charge because we saw him putting a fastest lap just a couple of minutes ago. So, yeah, everyone on fresh mediums just going at it and trying to put on faster and faster laps in. Helium is in a very lonely P4 right now. Of course, he had the spin and just could not recover, but Aradhya going full beans, trying to catch up to both the Ferraris and claiming his first victory of Season 10.
Well, he still got some ways to go. He still got to clear the Ferrari of SSC Assassin, who's definitely not going to make it as easy. But then again, he's got the tires on his side, he's got the ERS on his side, so this could be an easy move. But let's see what kind of defense SSC is going to put up. He's already going onto the grass. That's not going to help him. But he hugs the inside line. He doesn't want to let go of that inside line. He hugs it on and almost blocks the apex for Aradhya, blocks the cutback line, but Aradhya still got the outside line, and they're going side by side, and SSJ is slightly ahead, and he goes wide as well, which is not going to help his cause. And crucially, Aradhya has used up all his battery. This is not looking good for him.
Indeed, they're still going side by side through turn 1, and around the outside goes Aradhya. Both of them yet again just going side by side, giving each other enough space and no contact as of now. And Aradhya going down the inside now, and they're still going side by side. Both of them do not want to lose this position, and Aradhya almost out of ERS, and SSJ with a little more ERS compared to him, again going down the inside. They have been side by side this whole sector and still are going side by side. So yet again, this is going to be a photocopy of what we had with Eitzel versus, I think, Black Sheep, and Aradhya stays just behind SSJ, and this has given Pri the slightest of chances to just extend his lead. And this is what I was talking about earlier. SSJ needs to defend for his life, but without the DRS now, he's pretty much going to be a sitting duck on this long backstream.
Yeah, like I said, critically, the most important factor is Pri the Pro got enough gap to break the DRS chain. So now SSJ is not going to have DRS. If Aradhya passes him, he'll not have DRS. Which means, and he also hasn't got the battery to close on the gap, which is going to be very, very bad for him. He's going to have to rely on the freshness of his tires to close down the gap, and that's going to be a bit tough. And we see the moves being done. SSJ is still hanging it on the inside. He's going to make it as tough as he could. Pushes Aradhya onto the edge of the track limits, but stays within the tracks. And we see a retirement in the back, and we have got a full course yellow. Not sure if it's a VSC or a safety car, but that's a full course yellow for sure.
Indeed, and I am pretty sure SSJ has gone into the pits after the safety car thing came up, and yeah, he's in for, I think, a new set of maybe even softs at this point, and he will be in a very good position to get back out. And he does not have a wing, so he has definitely been the car while going into the pits, and yeah, this is going to cost him a few positions and maybe even a bit of time.
The Ferrari strategy, hasn't it? I really don't know what happened. Was there any contact in that final penultimate corner move that had some wing damage that he had to box for? But I really don't know. But I think he definitely had messed with the pit entry a little bit.
Indeed, he went into the pits quite late because the safety car came up pretty late. And yeah, this has only helped Aradhya even more because that 1.6 second gap that Pri had to Aradhya has practically just disappeared now. And if Pri does come into the pits, it's going to be a hard battle now because both of them are going to be on full ERS by the end of the safety car, and it's going to be a proper dogfight till the end.
And crucially, Aradhya is going to get a gap to recharge his battery as well, which is very important because earlier he didn't have enough battery charge to use his ERS and chase down Pri the Pro. But now he's gonna have the time to recharge his batteries as well. So it's all reset, and chips are stacked towards Aradia, I would say.
Indeed, you did predict this that Aradhya might win, and Kapil helping the cause quite a lot, and just slowing down both the Ferraris. And yeah, Aradhya, if he does win this race, does owe a thank you to Kapil for sure.
Yep, those two guys having their own bit of relations earlier. I think they have a bit of a history. How the championship has gone through in critical moments, Kapil and Aradhya. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting conversation for sure.
And Pre decides not to pit, so pretty bold move by Pre.
No,
Where
it is a wise choice considering the pack is compacted, and everyone might be catching up. So I think he has taken a good decision to hang out and finish the race with as high as he could.
Well, I guess only time will tell because we have one of the Ferraris on soft tires and we have one of the Ferraris on hard tires and in front of the pack. But will we see a repeat of Silverstone, the real life Silverstone race that we had where Leclerc was just kept out, did not pit and lost a lot of positions, whereas Sainz was able to win the race. So getting back all the way down from ninth to first is going to be a tall task for SSJ, especially with that front wing damage that he had to fix in the pit stop. So yeah, the final 7 laps is going to be super hard fought and interesting to say the least.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think without the wing damage, SSJ might have had a good chance to fight for the race because he timed the safety car entry perfect. Just when the safety car has come out, and the pack cannot bunched up yet, so he could have easily boxed and got out without not a lot of positions lost. But yeah, that nose cone change definitely put a lot of positions back for him.
Yep, so Pre the Pro first, Aradhya second, and Black Sheep and Eitzel third and fourth respectively. So they're not, we can't discount them of a win. So yeah, out of nowhere, they're into the podium positions right now. Helium down in 8th, SSJ down in 9th. Both of them were in that pack, the front 4 pack. So yeah, all of them just bunching up now behind the safety car. Shawshank is pretty far away from these guys right now, and so is Baba. So yeah, towards the end of maybe next lap, we'll have the safety car going in and the racing continuing yet again.
Yeah, pretty sure the safety car will be in the next lap because the field hasn't bunched up. Like you said, 2 or 3 cars are still behind. So once the field is all bunched up, we'll be getting a safety car in this lap message probably in the next lap. And it's going to be 5 laps to the end.
Indeed, and few of them, with the predictions as well. No idea who's going to win here because there are so many things that's just happened. We have had a couple just defending from both the Ferraris had pit earlier with a weird strategy, I would say, especially for SSJ because he pit with front wing damage as well and is now down in 9. So a Ferrari 1-2 has become a Ferrari 1 and 9, and Aradhya, Black Sheep and Eitzel and everyone on the medium especially are going to be attacking Pre with full battery, and this is going to be super hard for Pre to just keep it in front of these guys.
Yeah, I think right now the only way that Aradhya might be denied a victory is if Black Sheep and Eitzel have something to say about it, and Pre the Pro has the gap to run away. Because other than that, I'm really not seeing any other chances where Pre the Pro could take this win comfortably at least. So yeah, it's all going to be how he gets the restart sorted. And if he manages to get the jump on Aradhya and Aradhya is getting bogged down by Black Sheep and Eitzel, he will have a solid chance.
So it's basically either the medium runners just play it safe, play it together and get the podium for sure, or fight a little bit and let Pre make a gap. But safety car is in this lap, and let's see how Pre plays with this restart, and can he gain a decent advantage to the guys behind him.
Yep. And I was just using the break to check the tier 1 chat about some of the incidents that happened. And I was right. Pranath had box and lap 1 to fix a wing damage, and he just kept it in auto, and the game did not fix the wing because it was in yellow. And when the game sorted that yellow wing damage is nothing, you can do your laps on that. So yeah, that definitely did put a damper on his race, and he's to put it mildly, he's definitely not feeling very happy after that and after the DNF. So understandable. But anyway, going back to the action on track, the safety car is in this lap. The safety car has gone into the pit lane, and now it's on the Pro to make the restart. And let's see what kind of restart he goes for, because the throttle cut is a very important issue to get this restart right. I think he's going to go till the line. I think he's going to the line. I think we're going to see some incidents in the back as these cars are already scrambling with the safety car restart. And Peter Pro hasn't seemed to broken off the Aradia, but behind mid pack there seems to have been a few cars that were caught out. And Aradia is trying a move on the outside, but not happening. And SSJ, he's stuck between 3 cars, and he's just stuck in a gaggle of cars. He's not going to be making this easy for himself for sure. And he's sticking it on the inside. And Couple is still there. Oh, and SSG loses his car, and it just goes from bad to worse for the second Ferrari.
Oh, that's the second time he's lost his front wing, and just unfortunate for him over there. He was on the sauce, so did get better exit. And Pre 6 tenths in front of Aradhya, who's 6 tenths in front of Black Sheep. So this race is definitely not yet over, and all of them just trying to get onto the podium, and if not, even the win. And yeah, Extreme trying to go for a move down on the inside of Baba over here.
Oh, there was a contact. Oh no, that Haas gets caught out. Shawshank was the unfortunate guy over there, and he just drives in. I don't know what's going on. That was a bit unnecessary. But yeah, the frustration is definitely understandable. He just got caught out in an incident that he had nothing to do with. But yep, as it stands, the front two are standing as it is. P the Pro seems to be hanging on for now, but he is not breaking this train behind. And behind we see 3 cars trying to make a move. Mercedes of Helium trying to make a move on ST by the looks of it. And Akash has been spun around. So yeah, these guys are really squabbling over each other for the whatever points it's coming up, because it's every man for himself in the mid pack.
Indeed, and just one thing to keep in mind is all of the drivers who are going to finish this race will get points right now, because we only have 15 drivers. And yeah, we see both the McLarens. We see a McLaren sandwich right now. Akash has lost a few positions and was, in that proper McLaren battle. And yeah, Helium doing pretty okay now to recover from where he was. Back up to 6 now, right behind Couple. And we have seen that Couple has had some crazy good defense. So can Helium go for a move on Couple? We'll just have to see real soon.
Yeah, Couple is a very good racer. He knows how to defend. He knows how to place his car. So it's always fun to race with Couple when he's involved. And Helium is quite an aggressive racer. He just goes for the move. So it's gonna be a very interesting matchup for sure.
While we're talking about interesting matchups, we have Aradhya versus Pre. So again, it's super close between these two. When the DRS is on, Pre is definitely under a lot of trouble. Can we quickly see how much ERS Pre has over here? Because we've seen Aradhya has around 60. Pre is down to 60, down from 70 actually. So yeah, not a lot of ERS, difference between these lot, of course, because of the safety car, and it's going to be super hard for these guys, for Pre especially, to keep that lead and keep Aradhya away from P1.
Yeah, so right now Pre's priority is going to be to break that 1 second barrier, but I don't think that's happening because the restart was sorted. Aradhya was not falling to any of the tricks, and he stuck behind to that car as if it was towing him, and he just hung on there. So which means that he was not under attack from the cars behind, and it's giving a free run. And he's already closing up quite a lot, and I think he had to correct his lines a few times because he was getting too close to the Ferrari up ahead. So yeah, it's already he's already getting very restless by the looks of it.
Indeed, he's been, seeing the back of the Ferrari from pretty much lap 1, and he wants to get that P1 because, again, this is a clean slate right now, so he wants to be leading the championship right from the get-go, and China is a pretty decent track to do that. So we do see that, Black Sheep is still within the DRS range, so these guys not really, haven't really made that gap compared to the guys behind who are using quite a decent amount of ERS just to stick with them. but yeah, they're still in play. A small mistake by any of these guys is definitely gonna put them down quite a few positions.
Yep, every single mistake is gonna hurt quite a lot right now because the entire pack is bunched up. Even a track limit warning at this time could send you careening back to the grid, so you don't want to be doing that. And Predator go defensive on the inside and parks his car in the middle, and Aradhya just hanging behind right there. He's trying to push him back into Black Sheep as much as he could, but so far it all seems to be working in Aradhya's way. And we see a spun car, and that is the real ST. He's really not having a good race. He's having a very bad day, and his wing is fully out. So yep, a very bad race for him, that's for sure. And
Pretty
we
sure
go
we
back
had
to the front.
a
Yeah.
contact. I'm pretty sure when Alex swapped screens, we saw a bit of contact between SD and someone else, and that's what sent him into the wall. Yeah, Deepak, as you were saying, let's continue with it.
Yep. So we come back to regular proceedings in the lead battle. It's still going on. I think DRS has been enabled. I'm not sure. Didn't really catch the message, but if DRS is enabled, I think it's gonna be this lap. And
And
SSA
SSA,
taking the fastest lap point away from the front. So doing whatever little he could to contribute up front. So yeah, that's 1 point stolen away.
indeed, and yeah, Aradhya right on the back of Pre right now. This is the best chance he has to make a move on Pre the Pro. 29% ERS compared to Pre, who will not be having DRS. So can just the ERS dump? He has 40%, almost double the amount of ERS that ERS that Aradhya has. Going for a move, can Aradhya go around the outside of Pre and take the lead? Both of them literally side by side into the penultimate turn, and Pre just about keeping his Ferrari in front of the Haas, who's also, member of Ferrari, I would say, because they have the same Ferrari engine. Right now, Aradhya very, very low on ERS, Black Sheep around a second behind these two. So it's a proper two-way battle for the lead. Going into the final lap, Pre is in first, Aradhya second, but Aradhya will have a chance down the back straight to take that position off of him.
Yep, I think Aradhya has once again been a bit impatient with his battery because he's once again out of battery, and he's looking to spoil his chances in that case because Pre the Pro has played it quite smart. He got enough battery to survive another attack even without DRS, but it's going to be absolutely crucial in this lap because DRS and the tire advantage is still, I feel it's still enough for Aradhya to do something. But let's see what kind of an exit he gets because the turn 13 exit is going to be the most crucial factor in this battle.
Indeed, coming up to the final sector for the final time tonight, we have Aradhya right behind Pre. Can he get a good exit compared, or a better exit compared to Pre? And seems like he does. He does have a pretty decent exit. Pre has around 29% of ERS that he can spam, whereas Aradhya down to only single-digit numbers. And this is going to be very, very close between these two.
Yep, he's closing in, but he doesn't have the battery to close down, and Pre just has enough battery to survive that attack. And he holds on to the race lead, and he does the impossible task, to be honest. And behind we see HL is scrapping it simply. HL has actually dropped down from possible podium contention to P5, which is a bit surprising. I wonder what happened. So yeah, we have checkered flag, and Pre the Pro takes the race, and that was quite an enthralling finish. I definitely was put in the wrong by Pre the Pro today.
Indeed, Pre doing an amazing job of keeping these, medium runners behind him, and yeah, not really dumping his ERS much, and just saving it till the last lap. And what a performance that was by Pre the Pro for a Ferrari win. And Aradhya coming second, Black Sheep third, Kapil coming fourth. Even though he was slowing down the Ferraris, he's up to fourth now. Didn't have a moment when we were on board him, and yeah, he's fourth. Ninja
Thought to
Zero
be
is
contesting for the top of the grid were definitely out of the race because of some unfortunate incidents and some mistakes from their side. So yeah, it was a good shake-up. It's good to see Black Sheep as well in the podium. It's been a while. So it's nice to see him back in the competitive fray. And of course, yes, Kapil also did put on a good show for us. Because I mean, come on, that defending on fresh tires, that was really nice to see.
Yeah, did give him the driver of the day as well, and it's much deserved because there was a lot of action from couple's side, and it was just fantastic to see what these guys could do. And yeah, Pre yet again just keeping a decent amount of ERS, and yeah, it's like Aradhya was just slightly slower than Pre and slightly worse on the ERS management as well. So hopefully, he can just try learn from these and get that first position in the next race.
Yep, and I really do feel bad for SSJ though, because he did had a very solid race and he was running in P2 and P3. He would have had a solid podium on his hands, but I think he might have got a bit too greedy with the safety car. His eyes should have lit up when he saw the safety car and was like, okay, free pit stop. But yeah, I really feel bad for him.
Indeed, he was in the top 4, and the only people from the top 4 pack were, Pre and Aradhya at the end. And Helium and SSJ did lose out on quite a few points. But again, it's just, racing. You can't really help it. You do have a few incidents here and there which can ruin one of the races, but they still have a full season ahead of them to try and come back and try and get more points for the team. Maybe even compete for the WCC as well as WDC. So yeah, we will move on to the podium interviews real soon once we have the top 3 with us in the com box.
Okay, I think we got our podium sitters in this lap. Sorry. There's reading some message and reading that. I'm really sorry for that. But yeah, we do got our podium sitters here in the VC with us. SwaggerTurbo, why don't you take it away?
So let's quickly talk to the man in P3, Black Shape. A fantastic race from your end. Just kept 8 behind you for pretty much the entirety of the race and getting a podium finish. So just, run us through what kind of, emotions you're going through right now after this race finish.
It was a fairly standard race for me. I think I knew there were a couple of medium starters at the front, so it would have been pretty easy, is what I thought, to jump them maybe in the pit stops. I think the only person I had that I did overtake them was Akash Sonamane, and that was pretty straightforward too. I just sat behind him until the lap before the pits. That was the idea, just harvest as much ERS as possible. I think I got up to like 90% and then just deploy all of that coming out of the pits and just get the move on him. I kept talking to Aidsil through the whole thing, so I said to him, just stay in my DRS and, we both can get him. Yeah, sad that he got I think he lost the position to Kapil at the end, but yeah, fairly regular, everything else.
Yet again, congrats on the P3. Was a pretty decent strategy from your end, and just enjoy the position right now.
Thank you.
So Deepak, let's just go with P2, who was Aradhya Gupta.
Yep. Hello, Aradhya.
Hello.
It was quite a race, man. So just talk us through what's going on.
Yeah, so in I think so top 3 or 4 only, I think so I was the only one who started on hard. So obviously I knew that I was going to struggle at start a bit. So from get go only I decided to let SSJ go in front of me because I thought I will just lose way too much time to Preet. But then I fell out to the DRS of SSJ, so then I decided to let Helium go. But after a lap or two only, he unfortunately spun in front of me. So couldn't do anything about that. And then I was just trying to maintain the gap to SSJ till my pit stop round and till he boxes. And yeah, after the pit stop rounds, it was just pretty straightforward. I just tried to go for the fastest lap, but whole rest I was like on basically 0% TRS only. So yeah, I was, before the safety car, I was just really wondering that, how can I overtake these guys? Because I tried to go for two moves on SSJ, but didn't work out. But luckily, the safety car really worked out for me. And I don't know what happened to SSJ after he went into the pits exactly, but like he was not that bad. And yeah, after the pit stop, I just decided to go for full attack on pre, but yeah, like he just had way too much space on hearts for me, to be honest. Like his space on hearts was like incredible. Just like on those old hearts, like I could never even imagine to have that much space. So yeah, like that was like a mega drive for free, and like I think so he was running a lower downforce setup also, so which also helped him to defend for move. But a bit gutted also for P2, and because knowing I was just so close to the win, but still happy with P2 at the end of the day.
Yeah, the end of the day, it still is a good race. I mean, when everyone around you is starting on mediums and hanging out to them on the hards, it's not a very easy thing to do. So yeah, that was a good thing. But one thing I just wanted to know, because in the end, I did notice that your battery was completely zero. I mean, earlier also was zero, but after the safety car reset, it was once again down to zero while pre had some battery left. So were you using all the battery to push and get up to close, or were you trying to make a move as soon as you could?
I just tried to make a move as soon as possible because I thought Black Sheep would also try to, attack from me on the back. So like, I just wanted to get offset from Black Sheep as soon as possible. But so yeah, that's why in the two laps after the DRS got activated, I was at 0% DRS, and on the obviously in the last lap I had like 0% DRS. So I knew that I had no sort of overtaking. But yeah, luckily Black Sheep wasn't that close to me also towards the end, so I had no threat also.
All right, all right. That was a great race from you. Congratulations. So close yet so far, but still, you have still a lot to take away from that good race.
Yeah.
All right, SwaggerTurbo, why don't you take the race winners interview?
So yet again, getting a win. Of course, it's a clean slate first round in China for now for the Tier-1 boys. Keeping a lot of pressure from SSJ in the first half, and then of course Aradhya was right on your tail throughout your hard stint. So yeah, just talk us through how you felt about the race, and yeah.
Yeah, the first stint, I kind of, what do you say, at the race start, I left my front tire pressures one click too high. And so in the first stint, I was actually overheating my mediums a little, which is why towards the end of the stint, oh, sorry, not towards the beginning of the stint, like the first couple laps, I was able to pull away a lot from Aradhya and SSJ. But then after that, my tires were getting very close to 100, so I had to manage it a little. And because of that, I couldn't exactly pull away, and SJ and Aradhya were actually gaining some time on me. So then I ended up hitting a lap earlier just because I wanted to get off those mediums, just because of the temperatures. And then the hards, I knew I'd struggle on the hards quite a bit compared to Aradhya on the mediums. And yeah, I don't know. SSJ did some brilliant defending on Aradhya before the safety car, and I think that really helped me out because I think otherwise, if you would have gone past SSJ, like right, if Aradhya would have got past SSJ before the safety car restart, and he'd be in my DRS, I think I wouldn't have been able to fight him because I was also running quite low on ERS, trying to battle the hard runners, trying to overtake them before they made their pit stop. And then that safety car restart was, I, I don't know whether the safety car helped me or it hurt me, but I don't know. I don't know how I kept Arade behind the last 5 laps because he was very quick. And the last lap of the last lap on the exit before that long back straight, I actually messed up a little bit there, and I almost ended up spinning. So I like, yeah, just I got very nervous for a second, but then I saw Aradhya was clearly out of ERS because I was able to pull away while he had DRS as well. And that's when I was just able to relax just a little bit and just just take it as safe as I could for the last corner. And yeah.
Yeah, overall, a very fantastic job done by you, and of course, getting P1 for the Tifosi as well in China. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a fun and entertaining race from our end as well. And yeah, just enjoy your win, and we'll see you guys in the next race, which is probably Miami on later on. And you guys obviously will get to know when it is. But yeah, overall, very good race by you guys. And Deepak, would you like to wrap it up?
Yep, for sure. That was a very tense race. We did miss a few action in the middle, but nonetheless, it was still a very tense race, a very good closing to the week. And our request for a safety car was finally satisfied. So that thing is there. But all things aside, that was a very good race, a good wrap to the weekend. And league racing is going to be on a break. So T2, 3, and 4 will be on a break for the next 2 weeks. But since rounds 1 and 2 were scrapped in Tier 1, those will be redone in this break week. So we will be streaming that. So make sure you tune into IRC channel on those days and check out the racing action. It's going to be in Bahrain and Melbourne. And yeah, if you did if you made it till here, great. Subscribe to the channel and join IRC Discord if you want to be a part of this racing action. We definitely like to have all the people here, and we've got tiers for all levels of skill. So, yep, give it a try, and we'll see you later. Have a great night and have a great week ahead. Bye bye.